Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Hotline 21 on CAN TV. My name is Jenny Brandhorst, and I'm filling in for Susan Reyna. She's our president and CEO. She is spending time with her daughter, Maddie, who turns 12 today. Happy birthday, Maddie! Feliz cumpleaños. And that's my 2 years of high school Spanish. And speaking of high school, I am pleased to have Mr. Levorn Black with us this evening, and he is part of our junior high and senior high school with Beacon Therapeutic. Thank you, Levorn, for being a guest this evening.
Thank you for having me.
And for those of you who don't know about Beacon Therapeutic, we've been around for about 43 years now, founded in 1968. And Beacon has 4 locations. I'm going to put up our locations right now. We've got our business office located in the Beverly area. We also have our Longwood campus that serves elementary age school children. We have our homeless outreach services on Western. And we also have our Calumet Park campus where Levorn Black works with our junior and senior high school students. And that's what we're going to learn more about this evening, is about the students and the staff at Calumet Park. Levorn wears many hats at Calumet Park High School. He's the Dean of Students, the Reintegrational Facilitator, and he is also a Behaviorist. And if you're wondering what all of those mean, we're going to find out very shortly. I'm going to post a couple other things before we get into our conversation with Levorn. Just a little bit about Beacon's programs. We've got a lot going on with our little intensive, big intensive outpatient program, our outpatient clinic. We also have our Family Assertive Community Treatment, known as FACT program, Early Head Start, our Shelter Outreach Services, our CHIPPR program, that's health insurance for children and teens, and we also have our therapeutic day schools and our autism initiative. So again, we've got a lot going on here at Beacon Therapeutic. For more information, visit our website at www.beacon-therapeutic.org. Now, it gives me great pleasure to have Mr. Levorn Black with us. Levorn, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to Beacon.
Okay, I've been with Beacon it'll be 9 years in August. I started off as a behaviorist, and what that entails was just when kids are having difficulties in the classroom, the teachers are asked for the behaviorists to come in and, de-escalate the situation. So we would bring the kids out and talk to them and, get them to the point where they're ready to go back into the classroom. Then a few years later, I moved into the position of a reintegrational facilitator. What that entails is we look at kids who are ready to go back to their home schools. So these are kids that show like 85% attendance rate, improvement in grades, and also their behavior. And what I would do was contact their home schools and set up meetings with principals, assistant principals, case managers, and teachers to talk about reintegrating the students. Normally what that entails, the student starts off part-time, and they might take maybe 1, 2, or 3 classes, and just so that they can get a feel for what's going on in the building, because it's a change. You go from a smaller setting to a big setting, and you go from socializing with a small population to a bigger population. So to keep them from overexerting themselves, we start off in the dual enrollment process. Some kids are able to go full-time right off, from leaving Beacon, going right back into the home school. But we try to keep them dually enrolled first. And what I'll do is I'll check on them once a week and talk to the teachers, talk to the case managers. We get to the point where the students are comfortable with being in the setting. I would just call to the office, have the students call to the office, and I'll just talk to the students about how's everything going, is there any problems that they're having, any teachers you need me to talk to, you need to talk to the case manager and things of that nature. I was recently promoted to Dean of Student Services.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And what that entails is just programming, making sure the kids have the right classes to be on track to graduate, credit audit. So what I'll do is check their transcripts, make sure that they're on track. I speak with the parents about graduation. What else?
List goes on and on.
Exactly, right. It's just hard to remember everything that I do.
I know. And it changes day to day, because I'm
Exactly.
sure there's not a typical day at the junior and senior high school. We've all been through junior and senior high. It's a tough age. You've mentioned quite a few things that have piqued my curiosity, and I work at Beacon, but I'm always learning. And let's talk about dually enrolled, because we're getting children from, correct me if I'm wrong, Chicago public schools and some suburban schools who are, how would you describe our students?
I would describe our students as emotionally challenged. They have disorders that they have to learn how to cope with. So what we do at Beacon is teach them how to cope with having this disability. So if they can't, focus on something, that's going on in the classroom, we teach them how to do that so that they can be candidates for reintegration.
Okay. So let's just, I'm a visual person and I like to go by examples. So let's just, if we could give some examples of maybe a junior high student or a senior high student, we don't want to mention any names, but somebody who was having some troubles in his or her home school, as you say, how do they come to Beacon? How do they come to the junior senior high school at Beacon? And what's that process like?
Okay, so most of the times the students are they are assigned to our school. Okay. Because they're being removed from their home school due to some type of infraction that's going on in the school. It might be constant fighting. It might be just being disrespectful to teachers, just doing things that's not deemed appropriate. Mm-hmm. So what happened is they're placed with us, and we have an IEP meeting, and we come up with ways to help this individual get past these shortcomings.
Now, please describe IEP for our viewers who are unfamiliar with that term.
It's an individual educational plan, and what we do is we have a meeting and talk about like test scores, what the students doing in each class, and what type of accommodations we need to put in place to help these students become successful. Mm-hmm. And the teachers have to follow the IEP to the letter so that the students can become successful. And you're part of that, helping students? Yes, I'm part of that. I'm part of the IEP meetings when it's time for an individual to be reintegrated. Okay, and at the junior and senior high school for Beacon, about how many students are enrolled there? Roughly 90 students. 90 students, yes. Okay. And we're serving what grades? We service from 6th grade to 12th grade. 6th grade, okay. So we're dealing with a lot of, a range of issues, a variety of students, diverse backgrounds, diverse troubles. I mean, you could probably write a book. We talked about this a little bit before the show, Levorn, you could write a book. So can you describe... You've been around Beacon for 9 years now, and you've also had previous experience at your other jobs. What has kept you at Beacon for 9 years? Obviously, you have some rewards. Right. It's the family atmosphere. Okay. When you're in the building, you know that you're being supported. You can go to the principal, you can go to the therapist, you can go to the teachers, you can go to behaviorists. If you have any type of issues that you're dealing with when it comes to the students, you can you have a support system, and it's beautiful. And that's why I've been there for so long. Well, you've got a lot to share and a lot to say, and actually you apparently have some fans because we've got a call. So let's take this call. Good evening, caller.
Hi. I was wondering what are some of the things that make Beacon unique? Oh,
that's a good question. You want to take that, Levorn? Yes, I could go on and on, but let's have Levorn.
It's the family atmosphere. Mm-hmm. When we act as family, the kids pick up on that, and they buy into it. So it helps them. It helps them, overcome some of those issues, the trust issues, abandonment issues, knowing that when they come in the building, they have a support system. And when staff are uniformed and structured, the kids sense that. Would you agree? I totally agree. Okay. And again, I want to remind everyone, this is a live call-in show. I'm Jenny Brandhorst. I'm with Beacon Therapeutic. I am delighted to have Mr. Levorn Black as our guest this evening. Levorn, for those of you who are just tuning in, Levorn Black is, he wears many hats at our junior and senior high school for Beacon. He is the Dean of Students. He is a behaviorist and a reintegrational facilitator. And try to say that 10 times fast if you can. And I'm going to put up a little contact information about Beacon.
And then we're going to put up some pictures, because who doesn't want to see pictures of students and the great work that Levorn is doing with everyone at Beacon's junior and senior high school. Again, we're Beacon. If you want more information, please visit our website. We are at 4 different locations, and right now we are focusing on Calumet Park campus. That is our junior and senior high school. And I'm Jenny Brandhorst talking with Levorn Black. And Levorn, what are some of the programs and services that the children, students can get at Beacon's junior and senior high school?
Well, speech therapy, occupational therapy, the vocational program, our athletic program, individual and group counseling, well, therapy, group therapy, just to name a few.
Okay, and so basically students are getting everything that they would have at their home school, but just a little more concentrated to fit their needs.
Exactly.
Can you expand on that or speak more to that? How each student is unique and how we're fitting each person's needs. I know you talked about the individualized educational plan,
right.
But if you can expand more on that, you know, I think it would be beneficial to our viewers.
Well, each student is totally different. Each student has totally different issues. So that individual educational plan has to be tailored to each student. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you know, the teachers, therapists, behaviorists have, you know, certain duties and skills that they need to be able to provide for these students so that they can become successful. So, you know, student A might be different from student B, but due to the fact that, you know, they're all in the same building, we have to provide those services.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and, you know, again, everybody, this is a live call-in show. We're with Beacon Therapeutic. If you want to give us a call, the number is at the bottom of your screen. It's 312-738-1060, and we're going to take some calls now. Caller?
Yes, hi. I was wondering, how can the community become involved with the kids? Are there mentorship opportunities or volunteer opportunities? Because I would imagine the kids are looking, or you're in need of role models, perhaps, for kids. How can the community get involved?
That's a great question. Levorn?
Right now, through our vocational program, we partnership with the Cal Park Recreational Department. We partnership with the Cal Park Police Department and some of the nursing homes. So the students are able to go out into the community and work and build partnerships that way.
And how is that beneficial to the students? I mean, it's a win-win for the community and for the students. Can you expand on that?
Right. The students get to see, you know, professionals at work, like the police officers and the recreational department and you know, the nursing homes. So they get to be able to, you know, model what they see, and also, you know, be able to, you know, gain some type of, you know, stipend for their work. So they're learning how to, you know, become successful, productive citizens.
Mm-hmm. So the students are learning not only a skill, they're learning how to become involved with the work environment. Hey, I got to call in. If I'm going to be sick, I need to call in. The basic job etiquette.
Exactly.
Would you agree?
I agree.
And let's, Levorn, let's show some pictures of our students, because they are amazing and they are doing great work. Here's one of our graduates. Was that recently?
Recent graduate.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she was able to reintegrate back into her homeschooling system after being with us for roughly, let's say, 6 months.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And
you know what? And she comes back and visit quite often.
Yeah.
And, you know, she has her favorites. She comes and speaks and let everybody know she's doing well. And she's quite of an athlete, too.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's important for people to give back, and for the students, the current students, to see people who have graduated to say, hey, you know what? I did it. You can do it. It's tough, but we're all in this together.
Right.
And we've got great staff.
Right, exactly. and that's how the dual enrollment process works. You know, sometimes they might go in the morning, sometimes they might go in the afternoon, but those students get to see those students come back in. They might have to wear uniforms, like, oh, you know, you're going back to your home school. You have a uniform on and everything. You come back, you're happy, you're excited, you're talking about going full time. And what that does is encourage the other kids who, you know, are looking to go back to their home schools. Like, you know what, well, they did it. Maybe I can do it. You know, I get questions all the time. What do I need to do to go back to my home school? And if, you know, if I had a nickel for every time somebody asked me that, might be rich.
Might be retired,
or
right?
Be able to put gas in the car. Joke. Right. Yeah, but it does help that they see, you know, they see somebody who's being successful, and when they graduate and come back, and they went full time, and I'm doing this, I'm in college now, and things of that nature. It helps.
It does help.
Yes.
I think it's important for the students to see. And again, we're Beacon Therapeutic. I'm talking to Levorn Black. He's the Dean of Students at our junior and senior high school. We're a therapeutic day school. This is a live show, so we've got quite a few calls. Let's take some more callers. Good evening.
Yes, what is your contact number?
The contact number for Beacon?
Hello?
You want the contact number for Beacon?
Yes.
I'm going to put that up right now, and you get a pen and paper handy, and you can write it down. We've got 4 locations. And our business office is in the Beverly area. That number is 773-298-1243. I would encourage you to contact that number because it goes out to the other numbers as well. It's kind of the default number. But if you want to reach our homeless outreach services, that's 773-233-3821. Our elementary school is 773-881-1005, or our junior and senior high school is 708-388-3183. And I'll put up this information again throughout the show for our viewers who are just tuning in. And if you have just tuned in, again, we're Beacon Therapeutic. I'm with Levorn Black. He is the Dean of Students, the Behaviorist, and the Reintegration Facilitator at our junior and senior high school, and he's wearing many, many hats. Those are just 3 of your hats. What else do you have going on at this high school that you're doing with the students?
Man, at one point in time, I was helping out with the athletic program because my schedule got so hectic. I lend a hand when I can. So, like when they're having basketball practice, I might go over and help out the basketball coach. They have softball, just helping out when I can.
Now, I think we've got some fun pictures. And speaking of basketball, I have to just, because I'm a basketball player, and I'm gonna put up some other pictures and to just show that we've got a lot going on at this junior and senior high school. So we've got. Are you in this picture, Levorn? I don't see you, but they're playing basketball. We've got some of our other students here. One of our teachers, Amy, actually is showing one of our students some different formulas, and then here's one of our students with. The ACT testing, and I remember doing that. Still getting, I think I broke out in hives when I had to do that. But so our students are making great strides. And what can you tell about our students? I mean, they're dealing with some deep issues, and
Right.
they're overcoming these barriers.
Yes, they come to us. They come to us damaged, and our job is to help them get past that damage. And the whole thing with the family atmosphere, being supportive, it helps them a lot. And once they get past that whole thing of, can I trust this person? You have trust issues coming in because of situations that happened in the past. But once they get past those trust issues, and understand that we are there to help them, we do have success.
And I want to just piggyback on what you're saying with our success. Again, Beacon has been around for 43 years in our community. We started out as a therapeutic school, and now we're a multi-site organization. And why should people support us? I mean, that I can list off 1,000 reasons why, but what are your thoughts? When you tell your friends, hey, I work at Beacon, I've been here for 9 years, support my mission, what we're doing.
Because we're able to help the students that are being removed from their homeschool setting because of emotional disabilities, learning disabilities, and we're able to bring them in, help them cope with with their disability, and reintegrate them back into their homeschool setting. And having that help would help us, help them, and that's what it's all about: helping the students overcome this disability, or cope with the fact that they have a disability so that they can be successful. Teaching them life skills, teaching them how to be, courteous, how to, just be model citizens.
And what words of advice do you ever offer our students? Do any quotes or motivational messages come to mind when you're speaking to any students? Do you think, gosh, you can do this?
I do something I tell the students. Every day. What the decisions that you make now are going to affect you throughout the rest of your life. So whether you make bad decisions or good decisions, it's totally on you. And we are here to help you make those good decisions. We know that, down the line, you're going to make some bad decisions, but you need to learn from making those bad decisions and not do it again. So if you're in the classroom, not doing what you're supposed to do, your grades are going to be affected. So once you see that your grades will be affected because of your, inappropriate behavior or not getting your work or stuff done, you need to change your way so that you can be successful.
And let's just show some more pictures of our students who are making these great strides and overcoming so many different barriers. And again, kudos to you, Levorn, for the great work that you're doing, because you've earned the respect of not just the staff but the students as well. You've been there for 9 years. You're a pillar at Cal Park, and I am quite certain that everyone looks up to you in the work that you're doing. Can you speak more on all that?
I think it's just my my dedication to the students and to my job. I've been working with adolescents since '93, and I truly believe it's my calling. So I'm just going to stick to my guns and keep pushing and help as many individuals as I can help. And
you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And we've got some very, very intelligent students here. Fun-loving.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's never a dull day.
Yeah, never a dull day.
Never a dull day
at the junior and senior high school. And here's a couple of my favorites coming up. The bowling alley.
Yes.
Right.
Bowling alley,
because you're doing a lot of field trips with the kids,
yes.
Right? And here's one of my favorites. Prom.
Yes.
Prom picture. Yes. So can you talk about some of these extracurricular events before we have to sign off for the evening? I mean, this is fun stuff.
Right. I think the extracurricular events is what push the students to want to come to school.
Yeah.
Because they know that this is what I have to do in order to be able to go on these extracurricular activities. Some of these students might not be able to go, take part in extracurricular activities because of their their home setting and things of that nature. So what we do is we provide opportunities to take the kids to the museum, just so that we can foster something else besides what they're doing. Maybe hanging out and
And some people have never been to a museum. They've never been out. I mean, outings that we take for granted, our children have never experienced before, and so Beacon is providing that.
Exactly, and once they get to the bowling alleys or to
the museum, or I know the
Garfield Park Conservatory. Yeah. What do we do? Something else with the kids, things when they get there and to see their faces light up and smiles and everybody is just showing appropriate behavior. It's truly great.
You're making a positive difference. And let's take one more call before we have to finish for the evening. Good evening, caller.
Yes, hi. Maybe I missed it, but are you approved by Illinois State Board of Ed? Is there so if a child goes to your school, are they earning credits? It transfers to their home school. How does that work?
Yes, they do earn credits. Each district, we send when kids get graded, and we send their report cards and grades back to the district, and the district updates their transcripts.
So they don't lose any time or anything?
No, they don't lose any time at all.
Okay, thank you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And Levorn, we've got about a minute or so left of our, and this has gone very fast. So
yes, it has.
Again, thank you for being a guest on our show.
No problem.
Before we conclude, I want to just ask if you have any final comments or words for our viewers.
Right now, I'm lost for words. I'm thinking.
Why Beacon means so much to you and the students.
Just the family atmosphere, being able to give that back to the students is what was helping them overcome or learning how to cope with their disabilities.
Very good. And again, thank you all for tuning in this evening. Again, we're Beacon Therapeutic. We've been around for 43 years. Thank you, Levorn, for being a guest. You're an inspiration to staff and to students. Just before we leave, we've got an event coming up with Beacon. It's called the Beacon Bash, and it's Thursday, July 24th. July 21st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and that'll be at Joe's Sports Bar, 940 West Weed Street. So contact Peggy Rourke with any questions, or if you want to be part of that event, 773-298-6441. And again, we're Beacon Therapeutic. We're on every Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Again, thank you, Levorn. Thank you for viewing, and we'll see you next week. Happy birthday again, Maddie.